Prince Charles could follow a great tradition of kings changing their names upon accession to the throne, a royal commentator has said. Andrew Pearce, a conservative British journalist, told the Jeremy Vine show that he predicted 10 years ago Prince Charles would change his name upon becoming king. He spoke of how the two previous King Charles both garnered bad names for themselves, suggesting the Queen's eldest son might wish to elect a different name. The panel then discussed his full name, Charles Philip Arthur George, and how it offers the heir to the throne at least 3 other options. Jeremy Vine said, "Is he going to be King Charles or did first read somewhere that he's going to be King George?" Andrew Pearce said, "Well, I wrote that 10 years ago. He would be King George VII, or he could be King Philip because there's a great tradition of kings changing their names. So George VI was called Bertie. His brother, who abdicated, Edward VIII, was actually called David. They changed their names, it's just tradition." Mr. Vine said, "Yeah, but are we ready for this? I'm thinking he's King Charles III, but first suppose the other two had awkward moments." Mr. Pearce responded, "Well, quite. Charles I was beheaded and Charles II was a big bonker, a lot of mistresses, and a lot of his progeny, can I tell you, have got titles now in the House of Lords." When prompted by Jeremy Vine on her thoughts, fellow host Storm Huntley said, "I always think that's a bit off to change your name. We've got used to your name. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, fine. The royals do plenty of very unusual things, so I think if he wants to change his name then let him change his name and I'll get used to it." Mr. Vine added, "I'm just thinking, we've got Henry VIII, we've got George VI, you want to choose something like Stephen or Keith." In the latest handover of monarchic duties, it was announced the Queen will reportedly not attend the upcoming Commonwealth Games in Birmingham and will be replaced by the Prince of Wales. There are 49 days to go until the 2022 Games open in the City and other West Midlands venues on July 28, running until August 8. The Daily Mail reported the Queen will not attend the Games and Charles will appear in her stead at the opening ceremony. Other members of the royal family are expected to also attend sporting events throughout the tournament, the paper added. A former royal butler said that royal children tend to be given 2 or 3 names, possibly because it allows them some maneuverability should they accede to the throne. Speaking to the talk show Studio 10, former royal butler Grant Harold said, "Normally royal children have 2 or 3 names. The reason is, if that child was to become a king or queen, they have to have a kind of pool to choose from. For example, Prince Charles, if and when he becomes king, would be, people assume he would be Charles III. But he could technically be George VII because George is in his name.